weekly for me.
Well, we'll find out. Hopefully we're live here soon.
Yeah.
Because I did hit the button.
Okay.
So, let's find out. Are we
I'll
live?
subscribe to you.
Haven't got any
You are live.
Oh.
Are you live at the same place? Maybe?
I hope.
Yes.
Am I live? Are we live?
Yes, you are.
Everybody! Oh my god, it's the Fruits Basket Podcast! We're back! Oh my god, last week was a little bit complicated.
So Mr. Kitty ate your hard drive, and then the dog came by and stole your microphone, and then your house got eaten by a chihuahua.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's basically like that's basically what happened. Actually, my internet went out last week. But before that, like something really crazy happened. Sadly, I can't tell you because it involves people and it's a personal thing. But let me tell you, it's not something anybody here wants to go through. But it happened anyways. So yeah, I just pushed everything back a week, and here we are.
Yeah, so we have 2 episodes to talk about. We are doing 2 tonight, right?
Yeah, episode 7 and 8. We already have in the chat here. Essentially, it's Amy saying hi. So hello, Amy. How you doing?
Hi, Amy. Also, hi, Satsuki. I agree.
Yeah, and we have none other than Kyo Soma in the chat. Oh my god.
Oh, yay, Kyo.
We're big
Kyo,
time.
Best boy.
We are big time.
And we have BJ Furball saying woo before we went live. So hi if you're still there.
Yeah. Yes, and thank you to SeaTactics for commenting in the... I'm just kidding. So before we even get into this, I do want to preface this by saying if you are new to the channel and if you're new to the show, if the YouTube algorithm has sent you down the rabbit hole, consider subscribing, becoming a new subscriber. That would be really cool. As well, like the video and spread. It helps spread my channel and this podcast out into the internet and all that stuff. And share it with your friends, because we all like friends, and your friend will appreciate you. Well, BJ Furball in the chat still. URW6, what's up?
I try to text friends and tell them to watch Fruits Basket. Now, where is Bob's phone number?
Oh, okay. So I have an update for everybody. It's a very important update. It's regarding Fruits Basket, actually. I pre-ordered the Season 1 Blu-ray of Fruits Basket today.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you told me about that, and you might be doing something on Patreon about that?
Yeah, maybe like doing like a review of the product itself and talking about like the behind-the-scenes stuff, because that's the reason I actually got it. It's like $60 almost. And typically people would consider that like way too much money, especially even for 26 episodes. But it comes with 2 hours of bonus materials. So it's got episode commentary and all that great stuff. As well, it comes with a dub, and what more can be asked? It comes with the creditless openings and endings, and
oh, nice.
Like it's got everything.
Does it come with bloopers?
I hope it actually comes with 7 of those.
Yeah, because those are the best thing.
But yeah,
I want to see video clips of Tova forgetting her lines and then yelling lots of Japanese swear words.
Yes,
exactly.
See, I wonder if the commentary is going to be in English or Japanese, because I actually found it really interesting when I saw the A Silent Voice Special Edition Blu-ray that Right Stuff gave to me to give away. I watched it. I rewatched the film with commentary. It had Naoko Yamada, the guy who did the score for it. They recorded it in 3 sections, and they had them come in and out, and they would watch the film together and talk about different aspects.
Commentary on it.
Yeah, so like they break it up into like audio people, the visual design people, and the animation people. It was really cool. Hope they do something similar for that.
Yeah, and I liked it when they did like the first episode of season 3. They Funimation had some commentary afterwards, and that was really interesting too. Just to get the dub voice actors, their thoughts on it, and just like what they're excited to see in the season.
Yeah, I think I am going to get the season 2 and 3 one as well, especially the season 3 one. Season 3 is really good so far. And I hope they come with that. And I especially hope the season 3 one comes with that special episode they had. But anyways, enough talking about products we buy. We're not Linus Tech Tips, I hope. Actually, I wish. Hold up. That would be great.
All right, everyone go subscribe to Linus Tech Tips and tell him that SeaTactics sent you.
Exactly. Hello, Melina. How are you doing? You were in KOA chat last night. Very much appreciated.
Oh, yeah, we have more people.
Yeah, last night in KOA, we figured out that QRW6 is actually the guy that runs KOA, not us.
Oh, wow. So is he going to run this podcast too? Or does he actually secretly run it?
He may. We don't know.
Then that's why the podcast is so great.
This is true. Sasuke also says Kyoko saying Itai after getting hit by a taxi. Holy crap! We got to ban Satsuki.
All right. Let's see. Right click.
Speaking of, right, you know what? We'll get into the middle of the show. Let's talk about an actual episode before we keep plugging crap. So episode 7. Let's talk about that. We didn't talk about that last week because of hell happening and freezing over.
Yeah, because of crazy stuff.
So, I mean, the first thing we got to talk about is haircuts. Rin got a haircut. Well, Isis. No, wait, that was episode 6.
Yeah, I think that was episode 6. Because episode 7 started with Kyoko and Kyo together, and then we got flashbacks, and then
Yep. So episode
all of that chaos.
So episode 6 is Hero broke the curse. Or yeah, episode 7. Sorry.
Episode 7. Hero got out of it like near the end.
Yeah. So it definitely seems like I think in episode 6 they were talking about how like all the Zodiacs weren't, alive like they are now. Like they're all alive together at this point. So maybe that's, I was thinking about that rewatching episode 6 the other day.
Yeah.
I wonder if the reason why people are breaking the curse is because they're all alive at once or something like that.
Yeah, because it seemed like, that could be. It seemed like Shigure had the impression like the curse is nearly over, and them all being together is like the final step before it starts breaking.
Yeah.
So I guess we don't know like what is the cause and effect there.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring that up because that's just another theory that I have. Maybe it's because they're all alive at once. That's the reason why.
Yeah. So is that being alive like causing too much strain, which is causing it to break?
Yep. But this episode was really largely surrounded around Ren, not Isuzu Ren, but Ren.
The crazy
evil,
Ren.
Evil MILF Ren. The one Shigure likes, for some godforsaken reason.
Shigure is an interesting individual.
Very much. Very, very much.
Yes.
Yeah, QRW6 is episode 7, Akito Goes Crazy. That's a very good title.
Yes. Yeah. So we also got some at the start. We got some of Kyoko and Kyo, with Kyoko making the comment saying that she'll keep living for someone who needs her, even if like the world as a whole doesn't. I think it's interesting too. We're getting an insight into Kyoko and like her mental state and like dealing with losing her husband and everything like that.
Yeah. I think it's like such a fruits basket thing to have a flashback of a character that isn't even alive anymore.
Yeah.
and then to go into her trauma or like her issues. That's like even Kyoko we get development. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and it just shows like even someone who seems to be like the rock that Tori relied on has her own issues too. And I think one of the things the show is telling us is that as you grow up, you see all the trauma that people around you are going into and like looking beyond yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very Fruits Basket, like I think they because of these flashbacks, I think it really just cements once again how I think realistic a lot of the approach to the writing and grounding of the characters is. So yeah, I totally agree with that.
QRW6 is telling people to subscribe to me.
Yeah, QRW6 is just the guy. He's the man. We got to give him a raise.
Exactly. He will be paid $3,000 a minute.
I agree with this.
And it's coming from Astro's credit card.
I agree with this.
All right, there you go.
All right. So, talking a little bit about Ren, though. Oh, well, Sasuke says, I know their names are similar, but Ren's name is pronounced like Rain, while Ren's is pronounced like Reen.
Yeah, Reen makes sense with the Japanese. Rain? Yeah, I think that's how it would be in Japanese.
There you go. Guess we're now calling her Rain. So the thing about Rain that I find really interesting is she seems to be very possessive of Akira,
Yeah, definitely.
and hates Akito,
Yeah,
which
because
is
like
her own child.
yeah, she's jealous of Akito taking Akira or taking Akito taking Akira away.
Yeah,
Akira?
yeah. Akira. It's a very good movie. Very good movie.
Yes, we should watch it. I did a
Thank you.
podcast on it with EAA.
This is true. This is true. Very good podcast.
Yes, even though we didn't really like the movie.
There has to be something really just wrong with her. And I think I think what happens after Akira dies, I think it really messes up Akito and kind of dooms her to what she's about to do at the end of this episode and maybe in the next episode after 8. She has basically ever since been tormented by Rain.
Yeah, and I think even before that, she was probably tormented, but in a way, Akira was like able to shield Akito.
Right. I feel like Akira was a stable figure in Akito's life and provided
Yeah,
like even if like like even if she still had those issues growing up, she still at the end of the day had her father to kind of lean on.
yeah, and I wonder if that's the incident that Yuki was referring to that basically made Akito twisted. Because
Yeah.
like she seemed to have issues before, but then she's like got worse and went crazy.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's that whole thing is just it's kind of just disturbing. like that's how I
So
find their whole relationship is just disturbing.
it shows another parallel between Toru and Akito, though, because both of them lost a parent that they really loved, and that messed them up inside. And the question is, how are they going to deal with it?
Hmm. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, so like Toru is going like as strong as she could, but was still like really overwhelmed by it.
Hmm.
And but in Akito's case, basically she didn't have anything like that to like. She basically just like gave into the twistiness, and probably just the somas all around her making her more that way.
Yeah. Yeah. I think probably her being told that everything revolves around Akito. I think for that needed some clarification for poor Akito, because I think that
Yeah.
also messed her up quite a bit.
Yeah, just like being told that you're special in a way that's like twisting her expectations. And yeah, Melina says that it was Kurna's curse breaking that twisted Akito. That I didn't know if we confirmed that those two events were linked.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it was, and we just forgot. But I don't think they confirmed that because that seemed to happen more recently, and Akito being twisted seemed to happen a number of years ago.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not. Yeah, maybe we're just dumb.
I mean, that's definitely possible.
Satsuki says, I think it's interesting that Akito and Rain before thought that Akira loved the other more than themselves when all he wanted was for them to live like a real family.
Right? Yeah, in a way that's like he wants them to both be happy, but in a way like they were jealous of the other.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Melina says, after Akira died is when Akito met Yuki. She was still rather reasonable as a child, but Kurano's curse broke. Oh my god, why is this being held?
What is?
I don't know. Melina's comment after that,
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
I see
her
that.
whole
Let me go
world
through.
view,
Oh, okay, you did.
and then her whole worldview shattered. The world is black.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah, because there was that scene where she was like slashing paint everywhere in season 2.
Yeah, so if that was Kurano's curse breaking, and it could be like as her world was shattered around her, what is she going to do? Is she going to like give into the blackness of the world, or is she going to do something to fight against it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Satsuki says the parallel between Akito and Toru goes further because they are both super possessive of an inanimate that they relate to their parents. For Toru, the picture; for Akito, the jar. That's true.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Very true. So, but I think the main difference between them is just the fact that Toru she kept holding on. And I think the environment around Akito didn't allow for that, kind of light at the end of the tunnel thing. It promoted something very unhealthy inside Akito.
Well, I wonder if it's because what Akito is told, that she was special and like she was born to be loved. Well, I don't know if Toru was like given that. That made Akito more selfish,
Yeah,
while
that too.
Toru is more selfless. So that's like the difference between the two of them.
Yeah. I mean, if Kyoko raised Akito, maybe we wouldn't be talking about this.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of funny how both parents kind of have their flaws in a sense, because one of them was a gang member and the other is just super possessive of her husband, to the point where she doesn't like her own child interacting with him.
Mm-hmm.
But even so,
we have both Toru and Akito losing their father when they were younger, and then their mother in a way when they were a little bit older. So I guess in Akito's case, it's kind of the same, and not losing her mom, but her mom basically going even crazier.
Mm-hmm. Melina says she closed herself up in denial and clung to the bonds, now insecure that they would break. Akito growing up between being immensely loved on one side and intensely hated on the other. No wonder she became so messed up. Yeah, it's just what can you even do? Like at that point, I think for Akito, you would just have to get out of that environment. And does she have the courage or strength to even know to do that?
Well, that's like what we got into at the end of the episode. We're kind of going a bit ahead, and I need to find that part in my notes. But yeah, Kurna makes a comment saying you're going to be overwhelmed and broken by the curse and the somas and all around you. And yeah, Kurno hugs her, saying that they can start learning new things now. If they stay here, the somas and the bonds will crush you or crush her and it'll stay empty. But then Akito responds saying it's too late, and then basically stabs him and goes after Toru, we learn in the next episode.
Yeah, so, I mean, what did you think about Akito stabbing Kurano? Because I never expected that. Like, not even one bit.
Yeah, that was definitely a huge shock. And I feel like it represents like all of Akito's frustrations with Kurano, but also like the whole situation as a whole.
Yeah.
She's been so overwhelmed and like has to do something. And in a way, it feels like she wants to break free of the somas. And so she stabs Kurano to do so. It doesn't make sense, but in a way that it does, if that makes sense.
And to me, I kind of just read it as she snapped. She just had there was just a point. She got to a point, and that was that. And now she is the way she is. She's in many ways slowly just turned into a monster.
Yeah, and I feel like she's been a monster for a long time. I feel like she got to a moment of like self-awareness in the past couple episodes, but then it's like she has a choice to make. Is she going to try to become better, try to overcome all the brokenness, or she's just going to embrace it and hurt everyone?
Yeah, that is true. And also, do you think Kurano is dead? Because it showed Uo looking at a dead bird. So
yeah, I feel like
the
that
rooster.
was implied. Yeah, the whole scene with Uo, like I get what they were showing, but it felt like kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Unless like Uo somehow like Uo like shows up and does something.
Mm-hmm. Amy did not expect Akito to go that far. So that's I think it's just a very shocking scene that comes just honestly out of nowhere. But Melina also says Akito's default response is like a child's violence and anger.
Yeah, definitely. And Melina also says she blames Kurno because he made her believe that everything could go back to the way it was, and now she realizes that's a lie. So that also explains why she snapped the way she did.
I mean, I don't see. I could foresee a future where that is the truth, and it doesn't require change from those around her. It requires change from within her.
Yeah, it's like if she does nothing, things are not going to go back to the way they were. But if she did try to change, she could form a true relationship with the Zodiac, not based off the curse.
Yeah, and here's the thing. It's like Akito's gotten to a point where redemption for her actions are literally impossible. But still, even like if Kurino survives, if he doesn't, like I still do believe that she can have some sort of healthy, some kind of, get back to some sort of, mental clarity at least, right?
Yeah, so just like in the narrative of the story, like it feels like she's crossed a line. But at the same time, how many bad things have other characters done that they've tried to redeem or tried to be redeemed from?
I mean, Uo tried to hit Kyo with a pipe.
I mean, he probably deserved it.
Satsuki says, I think Akito's point was that Kurino didn't care for her all the way. It was love out of pity, which has been talked about with other characters, Kazuma and Kagura. And he also says Kurino helped with Akito's loneliness, but that's about it. Yeah, that's true. That's something we've kind of known for a while, is Kurino has pitied Akito, in a sense, for however long they've been together.
Yeah, it seems like a long time. So I just thought of something. So if we feel like Akito trying to kill Kurino like that was crossing a line, what about when Hana tried killing that other kid she was mad at?
I think for Hana, it was something she didn't understand, like what she was doing and how to control her powers. And I think that dealing with that, it's it's similar, of course, but like one is the children's innocence being affected, and the other is a grown woman stabbing someone.
Yeah, and I think you are right to a point. There's a level of maturity, and that could be like why it was not as bad for Han. Is like, yes, she meant to or she wanted to do that, but she did not know that her wanting it to happen would make it happen.
Right. And as well, I mean, Akito's just insane. So, like, she's crazy.
So would that insanity be like being an immature child? The way she definitely feels like a child, even if she is 18 or whatever age she is.
I definitely think a part of it is her mental maturity is just kind of not there. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, she really had no mental person or mentally sane person to raise her.
Melina says a bond out of pity is worse than abandoning someone sometimes, and Akito knew that Kurino pitied her. Yeah, I mean it's almost like it's like you're still alone. Because like pity isn't like respect or anything like that. Pity isn't, you actually liking the person. It's going, oh wow, how poor for you. Let me just do this let me go out of the way to just bury, and bandage up and put a band-aid solution around your issues.
Yeah, it's like not a true love for her. Yeah, and we've seen a lot of like love out of pity throughout the entire show. We got that more with like how Kyo saw Toru, or how Kyo saw Toru's love for him.
Yeah, that's the next episode.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, any final episode or finally up? What am I saying? We're both terrible.
Yes. Why do people watch this podcast? Just read the chat instead. That's where the smart people are.
God, just go watch Satsuki's podcast. Jesus.
Exactly. QRW6 tells to sub to Satsuki. Actually, you might have already done that.
Yeah. Link Satsuki's podcast. It's the Ox and the Rat. He's doing it with his friend Perry. It's an amazing podcast. Way better than ours. So go check it out. If he starts streaming, leave this podcast and go to his.
Exactly. Though, and speaking of saying goodbye, well, that's what was one of the lines of this episode is Akito saying, "Goodbyes keep coming," and I just think that is like tying into the whole theme of the show. Is that for all these characters, goodbyes are going to keep coming. In Akito's case, it's the Zodiac curse breaking and them leaving him. But in Toru's case, it's her mother dying and leaving her. Or in another case, it's them all about to graduate and like leaving the life that they've lived for so long.
Yeah, I think it's just them being in high school and being at this turning point in their lives as any teenager would go through. Like, I think, yeah, like, yeah, it's like they're gonna leave behind and go, through the motions with their own life.
Yeah, and they're like going to go separate places. Like you see that people like grow up, they get jobs, they leave school, they change
Yeah,
jobs, and like they lose what once was normal no longer is.
right. And eventually the process repeats. Like it keeps
Yeah.
happening. Like it
Oh
change.
no, wait, episode 6 was Momiji.
Momiji's great. Emoji's adorable.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, and QRW16 we didn't talk about Shigure, and yeah, there was that Shigure and Ren conversation.
oh yeah. Yeah, what did you that was at the very beginning of the episode. What did you think about that?
Uh
I think
it was
EA says it
complicated.
best. I think EA says it best. Rain is evil.
Yes, Rain is.
Well, okay, she's diabolical and
I'm also
evil.
trying to read through my notes. We found out that she was the one who decided to raise Akito as a boy,
Yeah.
that she would abort him otherwise.
Oh no, Satsuki isn't doing his podcast today. Very much cries.
Aww.
Well, go check it out. Go subscribe to him.
Yes,
He'll do it another day.
Go mail Satsuki pictures of Toru.
Exactly. Ask for his address. He'll give it out.
For some reason, that would not surprise me.
Oh my god. So yes, continue on with your thought about Rain.
I'm reading through my notes. Please talk.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Well,
yes, we got to the part with the like Rain and Akito making a bet. Rain saying that a Zodiac who got the taste of the outside wouldn't go back, and then if she was right, she basically wanted Akito to like grovel and just leave so that she could like be in charge or whatever. And then
yeah.
Akito is like, oh, she thought that she would always win, that no one could break this. Then there's Toru, and like Akito kept wishing and even praying, like and repeated it like a curse that no one would leave her, but turns out they have and did.
Oh my god. Slashy says I'd rather have a picture of Rain.
Okay, I'll toss a picture of Rain.
Oh god.
Actually, I don't. Well, it is Rain. I don't care what he does with that picture.
It's terrible. Satsuki he needs to go to prison for a very long time.
I mean, but then you can do the podcasts, and we need his podcast.
No, we can do it from prison.
Can you do podcasts from prison?
I mean, it's 2021. What can't you do from prison?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Oh, we also got Heroes Curse Breaking.
Yeah. We discussed at the very beginning, but yeah, I find it really wholesome that it happened the moment like he had when he was talking or when he was dealing with Hinata, or whatever the hell her name is, I forget. Hina and Hinata, those are two names. One of them's right. So
I mean, sometimes Hinatas go by Hina.
I mean, like,
Yeah, I like the one from March Comes In Like a Lion.
I mean, there's, Hinata from Naruto.
Oh, yes, Lena is right. She rejected Ren by basically saying that the only reason he liked her is because she looked like a female version of Akito.
Yeah. Shigure is he goes quickly from these moments where I'm like, you are the sleaziest, unlikable man, and then I just feel like he just doesn't give a shit at the end of the day, where he does stuff like that.
Yeah,
he's just like he's like Spike Spiegel if he was just more creepy. That's Shigure. Like if he without any of like the coolness, that is Shigure.
Yes, and with a bathrobe.
Yeah.
Okay, now I want to see Spike Spiegel fight in a bathrobe.
He'd do it. He'd figure out a way to do it. Oh my god.
But yeah, we saw Hero's curse break, and he was with Hinata, and he like hugged Hinata, and was like overwhelmed with feelings at the curse breaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made the comment like, "I'm in a complicated mood right now," which, yeah, that would definitely make sense.
I like how his mother just held him.
Yeah, he's like, he should be happy, but he has all the feelings too. So it's like, yes, it's good that the curse broke, but at the same time, he's losing something that was part of him for as long as he lived.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It's one of those things where you live like, how to describe it? It's like living with a limb and then losing it one day. And it's just being
the limb
gone.
is poisonous.
And it's like an extra third limb that's actually useful.
Yeah. Yeah, or it's like a poisonous third limb, but you still lose it, and you're like, oh, I'm missing a part of me.
Yeah, it's very yeah, it's very weird. Very, very weird.
Yeah.
Melina says, I did indeed want you to take that box. I can't think of anyone who'd be more deserving of it. Someone's going to be haunted by Akira's ghost. Let it be you and you alone. That is apparently what happened in the dub. The dub, man, the dub.
Yes.
The dub.
Well, I watched, we're not talking about episode 8 right now, but I watched episode 8 in the dub because it leaked like 2 days early.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it leaked. Yeah.
Yeah, then the dub was amazing for that episode, and then I rewatched in the sub, and yeah, they're doing good with the dub.
All you gotta say is the dub, and you just get it.
Yes.
Man, isn't that insane? How Fruits Basket is probably going to be my favorite anime of all time by the end of this, because I have, like, after watching episode 8, I am convinced. It has, like, right now my favorite anime ever, ironically enough, is Cowboy Bebop. I have no doubts. No doubts.
I was thinking about that because I have like 5 anime that are kind of like all together at the number 1 spot. And they're My Hero, ReZero, Attack on Titan, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and this.
Yeah.
So now I have to see like at the end. And I'm not going to say Fruits Basket's the top one until the end. But if it nails the ending like it's nailing everything else, it very well could be.
Yeah, and I do want to preface that by saying, it's like I'm not saying it is now, but if it continues to be like this, which I have no doubts at this point it will, it's tippity top. It's going up there. And I don't know, like Cowboy Bebop will be like right near it, probably right below it, but still, like I feel so like grateful to watch this week to week and to experience this. And I if it wasn't for Fairy Gone, man, if it wasn't for Fairy Gone, we wouldn't be watching Fruits Basket.
No, I think we'd still be watching it. We just would have, because we were doing the 2 podcasts at the start of the season.
I cry. Well, no, if it was it, I was the one. I remember the story now because I remember one day I was like, "Let's do the Fruits Basket thing." I'm like, okay, we'll talk about Fruits Basket weekly. And then I remember like a week before, I was like, I don't know, Rising, I don't think you're gonna like this. And you're like,
oh no, you thought I was a Fruits Basket fan. Like that's why you suggested it.
Yeah, but I remember that
and
you
then you
watched
learned that I wasn't, and then because you learned I wasn't, it's like, oh well, okay. And I was like, oh, I'll try it. Why not?
Yeah, because I remember at the time, like you're not a big slice of life guy, are you?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, so that's probably, I think that was the main reason.
So I wasn't sure if I'd like it, but I figured I'd try it. Yeah, because the season before we did Promised Neverland, which we had a lot of fun doing. And so he's just like, well, let's do this again. And then we ended up deciding we'll do 2 shows.
Yeah. Fuck Fairy Gone.
Exactly. I don't even remember that one.
Oh my god, we're at 17 concurrent viewers. I think that's a record for this podcast. So if you guys haven't already, and if you're new, give this stream a like. Share it out on Twitter. And subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't already. So
post it on OnlyFans.
Instagram, the Facebooks, wherever you can. Wherever you desire to, if you want to. You don't have to.
Why is this minimized?
Melina says someone compared the lingering feelings after the curse breaks to those after a bad breakup. I think that's accurate. And also, Arigato Sayonara, which is, I think, the ending song.
Goodbye. Well, that too. Which actually, yeah, that definitely fits. Wait, Symphogear.
Oh,
Wasn't that the Symphogear, like, their final song when they all came together to sing?
Oh, man, it's been a while since we watched final season of Symphogear.
I want to rewatch that episode again.
Hey, it explains Evangelion's ending, so.
Exactly. So yeah, I think that's all of our thoughts on episode 7 after we're 34 minutes into this.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
I don't have plans tonight. I kind of, oops, oh well.
I was supposed to put up blinds, but never happened. So there you go.
All right, so you have a joke I like.
Fruits Basket, episode 8, season 3, episode 8. I apologize. The first thing we got to bring up. I mean, this is one of the most important events in all of human history. We cannot not mention this because it will go down. You know, people say, you know, landing on the moon was one of the greatest events of all time. No, pales in comparison to this. People say that discovering fire, the wheel, screw that. You know, without the wheel, like without what this is, the wheel wouldn't exist. And that, of course, is twin-tailed Kyoko.
Yes. Yeah, I noticed that too. Like, I think when I first watched it, then when I was rewatching and take notes, I made a note of that. I have like a thing that says just twin-tailed Kyoko with an exclamation point.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's all you need. Twin-tailed Kyoko.
You should make that the episode title.
I should have. I think I did it because last night for KOA the thumbnail was Kyoko, so I didn't want to have another one. And the thing is with these Fruits Basket thumbnails for the Fruits Basket podcast, I choose the darkest thumbnails that never stand out. The worst. It's the worst.
I mean, this thumbnail also fits quite well.
Oh, I do want to say, just a reminder for you guys. This Thursday, I'm going to have a video about Fruits Basket misconceptions. It's a short video. It's about 7 minutes long. But it'll have an Easter egg in the video. If you guys know the Easter egg, then put in the comments when you watch the video, or mention it on Twitter or something like that. Because
can you call my emoji-san?
It's very subtle. It's very subtle. I will say this. It in itself is an Easter egg with one of the ending songs from, I think, the first season of Fruits Basket.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'll say that. I'll say that. So yes. Anyways, back to twin-tailed Kyoko, who by the way looked exactly like Toru in that, and I was like, oh my god.
Well, so you know, there's some interesting symbolism here when you get into twin tails.
Oh.
Because as Soji from Gonna Be the Twin Tail has described twin tails, very childish hairstyle, one that as you grow up, you leave them behind. I really wish I had that light novel in front of me.
Oh my. Is this a Twin Tails reference?
Oh, yes, definitely. But yeah, he describes it as twin tails are something people wear as their kids, but then as they grow up, they just don't fit. So they represent childishness. And I also feel like they represent like following your passions and what really matters to you. And Kyoko wearing them when she went to see Kyo that day shows how much she cares about Kyo. Like, it's not really a mature thing to do, hang out with a kid like this, but something she really cares about. And in a way, it's her connecting with a child and really helping him when he needs it.
Holy crap, Rising. That was... Bravo.
That was it. Go watch Gonna Be the Twin Tails. It's a far smarter show than people think. That's right. That's correct. Exactly.
I mean, that is true. That is yes. Yes. That is all yes. I don't think there's anything more to add on to that. I agree.
All right, thank you everyone for watching. Have a good night, everyone.
Oh my god. So it seems that, you know, Kyo and Kyoko.
I think I broke C.
I'm amazed by how amazing that was. Like that was amazing. Oh my god. Oh my god. I think I'm gonna cry. Oh.
Yes, and Trish, Melina makes a comment, intergenerational friendships exist, and yeah, they definitely do. Like, I'm friends with Bob.
Yeah. Yeah, isn't he like much older than you?
He's like 61.
There you go.
Yes, one of these days I'm going to write a book, and then there'll be a chapter on Bob.
Yeah, there you go. So it seems that their relationship, though, provided something I don't think Kyoko is getting that much, which I think is just some parental figure, but not only a parental figure, but somebody who like he truly just connected with on a level that I don't think he's connected with anybody else in the series thus far. Maybe Kazuma. Probably Kazuma
And
is
I
the
feel like
most.
one of the important things is that it is a relationship where the other person has no obligation to be part of it.
Right, right. And as well, it's not done out of pity, like other
Yeah,
relationships in this
yeah,
series.
like all the other Somas like hate him or resent him, and while Kazuma has done a lot for Kyo, and I feel like there's a lot of general care there. There's also the degree for at least how Kyo saw it that it was out of pity or it was done out of obligation.
Yeah, and I mean, and as well, it's kind of crazy how simple their relationship is. They would just
Yeah,
sometimes walk by and they would both be there, and that is the spot they would meet every single time, and there was no obligations to, do anything further than just share stories with each other and
yeah,
experiences and stuff.
and I don't know if Kyoko ever knew Kyo's name.
Yeah, which is really crazy. I think she
Yeah,
just calls him Squirt. That's about it.
yeah, that's what she called him the entire time. So, and Kyo did not want to tell her at first. So,
Yeah. Damn Tsundere. Uh Melina says Kyoko basically recounted her whole life to Kyo to help him because she knew he was going through some stuff and she had experience with that. So, yeah.
yeah, Kyoko's definitely gone through a lot.
Yeah, like I think it is extremely important to have a person like Yoko who literally was a gang member. Like you can't there are lows you can fall further than that, but that's a pretty low, right? So
Yeah,
to have someone like Yoko who goes from rock bottom pretty much to not terribly better, but uh way better than where she was previously, and kind of get out of that and live a life where she's happy. I think, yeah, that would help a kid like Kyo quite a bit. Even though I think Kyo as a kid would get different things out of those stories. And then as he recounts them as he gets older, I think those stories will start to mean different things to him and down the
yeah,
road.
he might not understand the lesson right now, but they like become part of him.
Right, exactly. And that's kind of actually the shame about what happened to those two and the past they went and the decisions that Kyo made. Because it really seems like Kyo just wants to kind of maybe not forget about her, but kind of bury all of that and not think about it.
Yeah, he basically buried it all underneath his hatred for Yuki.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I feel like now we like fully understand why Kyo hates Yuki so much.
Right. And I feel like we've discussed this before, and I believe it was also about Kyo and Yuki at the time, their rivalry as kids. Like Kyo needed to invent a villain
Yeah,
to get out of the point he was in his life. And it just so happened that the perfect villain to make was Yuki. Like he's the one at the end of the day that took Toru from him, even though he never met Toru, but it's still he was hurt by it tremendously. And that is kind of that. And after Kyoko's death, which is, a tragedy, just an absolute tragedy. That's how he lived. That's how he got by. Was just
it was
by this goal, by this hatred to take down Yuki Soma, along with the help with Akito. Which I think Akito's promise is, I think for some people they would probably be like, well, that's not a good reason to go through all this just to be welcomed back into the Zodiac or whatever and not be called a monster. But for Kyo, that's all he's been called his whole life probably. So he's probably thinking, yeah, like I would like to be a part of something again. And if that means taking out Yuki the villain, then so be it.
Well, even so, Kyo even said it that he actually didn't care about being welcomed back, but that just gave him even more reason to hate Yuki. So he embraced that Akito telling him that.
Oh yeah, that's actually true. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, But maybe Kyo wasn't being completely honest with himself either, but he just told himself he's doing this just because he hates Yuki.
Um, Melina says, I can confirm Kyoko has known some low lows whispering read the manga, which I am. I am
Yeah,
probably
we're
gonna
gonna do
buy
that.
it. I'm probably gonna buy the whole set.
I own at least part of it somewhere. I need to go find that.
Yeah, I'm gonna just buy the whole damn thing. Because like it's worth it, man. I want to buy the collector's edition too. I don't know how long it's gonna take to buy all that, but I am buying it. And I'll read Fruits Basket and Other too.
Oh yeah, we need to read that. We should do more Fruits Basket videos after the anime is over.
I agree. We can do 2001, even though I really don't want to.
Or we can do the apparently there's also a story about Shigure, Ayumi, and Totori's kids.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that somewhere.
Yeah, my friend apparently bought it and is waiting for the anime to finish before she starts reading it.
Oh yeah, there's still some stuff we can definitely do
Yeah.
after
after
the anime
we will not
ends.
be done with Fruits Basket.
Yeah, probably by the end of the year we will be, but yeah,
No promise.
oh my god, Sasuke's Kai is just like Fruits Basket 2.
Exactly. Fruits Basket Podcast Season 82.
There you go. See, that'd be great if they adapted Another. I don't know much about Another or what it is and how it goes.
I've heard it's like not as well regarded, but still, it would definitely be interesting to just like see more of the world.
Yep, that is true. Melina says, remember in season 1 how Kyo and Yuki's rivalry seems so cartoonish, simple, and comic relief? Yeah, I think this episode like ties all that back in and puts into context as I think it's important we saw that as comic relief actually, because I think in a sense like that still can let me try to word this correctly. Kind of what it is. Like it's comical that he went that route anyways, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Because like he wants to, take down Yuki and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And Toru getting in the way just kind of harmed that, and I think that just took his mind off everything. And I think when you put into context like what he was doing and going through, it's kind of, you kind of just have to like almost laugh at it like it's just like just some pitiful situation or something like that.
Yeah. It's meant to be funny because of how absurd it is, and really, if you think about it, Kyo hating Yuki so much for nothing that Yuki ever did intentionally is absurd.
Yeah, yes, it is the absurdity of Kyo to make those leaps of logic that I think is, yeah. Oh, EA says, his comment is being blocked. I didn't see anything. Me and Rising didn't see anything.
It's also a mod, so it shouldn't be blocked.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, I don't know.
We don't understand how YouTube works. Just go to Twitch; it'll show up on the screen.
Melina says, when you think that Yuki wanted to be friends with him at first. Yeah. That's pretty sad on Yuki. Both of them, it's tragic. Like they could have, think about it. They became enemies, but they could have became best friends and helped each other get out of this stuff. Before Toru even came around, probably. Maybe. Who knows? QRW6 says Kyoko was the one that told Kyo what if the rat Zodiac wasn't really a bad person. That is true.
Yeah, and I think it also shows a lot of maturity from Kyoko for just like a mature mindset in general, is that it's really so simple that there's a good guy or a bad guy, and it's probably not something that makes sense to worry about.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think as well. So EA said last night on KOA, like he thinks that these two are just going to become bros by the end and like get it all out and kiss and make up, so to speak. Do you think that's going to happen?
I don't think they will. I think that Kyo might get over his hatred, and I think he'll come to respect Yuki. But I don't feel like they can ever be like really close friends. At least not in like the 5 episodes we have left.
I think they will. And the reason I think that is because I think that's an underrated that's something, at least in our podcast and what we've discussed, I think that's kind of something we just kind of have brushed over, and it's kind of been something a little bit of an underrated of a topic. Which, by the way, we hit 23 concurrent viewers. Thank you, everybody, for coming out to watch us ramble on about Fruits Basket. If you haven't already, make sure to like the stream, share it out, subscribe, ring the bell, all that great stuff. It really helps out the channel, helps get out there into the algorithm. But I think it's a very underrated topic, like their friendship. I do want to see them become friends. I do want to see them, and I think we will become friends, because I think that is just as important to me of a plot thread as Toru falling in love with Kyo in many ways, because this is something that's been throughout all 3 seasons.
And I feel like Yuki could accept Kyo as a friend, especially how much Yuki grew all throughout season 2.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely possible. I think it would take time for them to become close friends, but I mean, that other student council guy that you became friends with kind of feels like Kyo.
Right. Yeah, it really does. Melina says, yeah, he doesn't even want to be part of the Zodiacs. He just wants to have another reason to hate Yuki. Also says, we're just catching up at this point with the chat. Akito is pretty confident that Kyo couldn't beat Yuki. It's a curse thing. The rat or the cat, actually the rat over every Zodiacs, he could catch up to Ren running. That's interesting. Melina also says, everything is such a happy facade, like Toru's smile, but there's so much underneath.
Then I think we already talked about the comment from EA, but yeah, Melina is definitely right. Everything that we see so far is like, it seems like fun, or like there's always more than it appears.
Yeah. I think season 1 is the perfect example of that facade, and I think season 2 and 3 do a really good job of just completely stripping all of that away.
Yeah, and I feel like season 1 starts off pretty like lighthearted and fun, but then they start like slowly peeling back and showing this is actually the darker side of it, even though there's a lot we don't know. It's like slowly throughout season 1 we like start to see how dark it is. Then it culminates into Kyo's monster form, and then season 2 like shows us a lot more of the darkness.
Mm-hmm. Jeremy Theron says, okay, so I really want to watch Fruits Basket since the insane ratings for season 3, but I'm 3 episodes into season 1 and not enjoying it. Should I push through? My answer to that would be, don't go in expecting something from ratings. I wouldn't watch it at this point. If you're going in, reading the ratings and getting these massive expectations, just wait till it's done, like wait till all the hype dies down from it. I mean, there's not really too much of it anyways, but like this series is still relatively, I think, a little underrated. But
well, I remember when we got into it, like I knew it was well respected, but I did not have a lot of faith in like why. I was like, just to show that a lot of people like. Sometimes those are good, sometimes they're not.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't watch it, like right now.
Yeah, or just ignore the community and watch it and ignore what they say. Just like don't watch our podcast.
All right. I mean, I think that is a very good point though to bring up. Is like, I think I'm not saying like you're not having issues with the quality of the show or your expectations of the show or anything like that. Like your feelings aren't justified. I think they totally are. I think they're valid. But I also think it may help if you just wait and watch it when you want to watch it. And yeah, and just get around when you want to get around to it.
Yeah, like I can think of a lot of shows that came out, everyone said they were amazing. I looked at it and I was like, no, that wasn't really all that great. So I might not have given it a fair chance because my expectations were off from what they should be.
Right. It happened to me with Demon Slayer. For like the first 12 episodes, I was like, what? Why? Why do people like this? Like, it's kind of slow.
Yeah, because at first I was like, new shonen? I'll give it a try. First episode, okay, this could be amazing. After that, I was like, nah, actually, it's just a cliche shonen. But then I got into it later and like, it's a cliche shonen, but still pretty fun.
Yeah, I think Mugen Train really woke me up to Demon Slayer, where I was like, oh, okay, so this is what this is supposed to be. All right, I'm in 100%. So yeah. And the thing with Demon Slayer is I waited until all the hype died down around it. So
yeah, like I dropped it twice before I finally finished it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't think I ever dropped it, but like I rewatched it recently and I was like, oh, this is great.
Well, I was going to make a video saying I dropped Demon Slayer 3 times if I ended up dropping it again.
She just called it that anyways, and just go into how much you love it. Just a total fucking, just like subversion of expectation. That would have been awesome. You would have got all the haters. All the haters would have been downvoting you, and you would have been just, they would never watch the video, but the comments would be like total praise from people. Like, it'd be crazy.
I mean, did you see that ReZero video I did as a joke saying it was terrible?
I mean, Amelia's kind of a cardboard cutout at times.
I mean, do you actually forget what I said in that video?
Oh my god.
Okay, so where are we in the comments?
We haven't even really gotten to the main points of the episode yet either. Like, we have been like... So let's talk about the confession scene between Toru and Kyo. What do you think about that?
Yes. So I liked how it started off. Like Toru said she has something to tell Kyo, and Kyo's like, well, I have something to ask you. And his question isn't, or his proclamation isn't that I love you. He's asking, do you love me? And then when she basically didn't answer, he's like, you do. Crap, this isn't good.
Yeah,
not because he doesn't love Toru, but he doesn't want her to love him.
Yeah, and I think we gotta go back. We talked about this last night on KOA. If you go back and watch the special they put out with the dub, and you talk about and you listen to what the cast say at the end of it about how you deserve love no matter what, I think they're referencing this scene, this moment, because
we can go rewatch that when the season is over.
Yeah, because I feel like Kyo thinks he doesn't deserve it.
Well, I mean, he also is like, you picked me of all people. I thought, and then his other comment is, I thought you loved your mom best, which ties back to what Toru was thinking about like two episodes ago, I think.
Yeah,
like
and I think
that she used to love her mom best, but now it's like she's not so sure.
And I think that gets a little bit into, like weird, like from Kyo in a sense, that gets into a little bit of like manipulation almost of like, hey, you told me you loved your mother, like it's he will, like, he's doing anything he can to not justify it to her, but not to himself. He's totally fine of having this love for this girl, but he himself has come to this honestly unrealistic and unfair reality that he's created for himself, that he can never love someone and never be with anyone. But for Toru, it's like he's trying to stop it from happening, and it's
weird. It shows it, in a way, it's a twist. Like, it's his love for Toru that's being twisted. And like, he loves Toru so much, he wants the best for her, and he thinks the best for her is not him.
Yeah. And I think that is, I think it's a culmination of so many things, of him being blamed for his mother's death, of the other mother-like figure in his life, Kyoko, dying right in front of him, and him failing to save her, whether the decision was right or wrong, which I guess we can just talk about here, because I think they tie in together. Like he believes that because of the curse of the Zodiac and all that, he didn't save Kyoko. And in my opinion, I think that if he would have had more time to think about it in that moment, just a little bit more time, I think at the end of the day, he probably would have made the right decision.
Yeah, it could be like he did not have time to think about it logically, is like instinctively, and he's been so hurt, he wants to like not be hurt anymore, so he wants to protect himself. He knows how bad it is if people see him transform. Yeah, we saw that back in season 1, like how bad that was for him. That led to like the whole Kagura like feeling sorry for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's all around. It's like, I think that was Yuki. It happened to Yuki?
No, I thought it was Kyo. You might be right though.
I can't. Somebody in the comments will correct us. I'm sure they should, because we're dumb. But
yes, we are. How are we supposed to remember things from 2 years ago?
Rewatching it.
I'm okay with that.
I mean, I've watched.
No, read the manga.
Oh yes, read the manga. I mean, I've seen Fruits Basket season 1 like 3 times, so I should know, but I don't. Uh, but I think I forget what I was saying.
Should if Kyo had more time, would he have done something different?
Yeah, I think because I think if you can honestly, I think if you compare the curse getting out to your like almost in a weird way old buddy slash surrogate mother like dying, I think that answer is really obvious which one you do. But I think in the moment, in the split decision, he had to make a decision, and because of the Soma clan and all of that, I think
Yeah.
I think in that he didn't have enough time to think, and I think he made that decision, and I think you can definitely be mad at him about that, but I think at the same time it's like, can you truly blame him for making the decision he made? Truthfully, it's not a good decision either way, but because on one hand he lets down the Soma clan, and that's a terrible thing, especially with the cat. But as well, you person dies. So
Yeah, well, still, if you've been in like around a family all on, they're saying like the most important thing is don't let your secret get out. That's going to be instinctively what you do is not let your secret get out.
yeah, that's
Like you
another
see,
thing.
saw with Yuki how like they come flying out and trying to hug him. He like naturally gets out of the way because that's instinctively what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, and I think he feels incredibly guilty for that. I think he feels that he he is responsible for the death of Toru's mother. I think that is actually also just a big reason as well as to why he's trying, to talk her down out of this. And the one thing I love about it, it actually harkens back. This whole scene is like really great. It harkens back to the end of season 1, where it's raining. So same thematic and symbolism going on here. You have Toru, at first met with the sight of this horrifying monster, being yeeted 12 miles. And then, running back to him to help him. You have kind of the same thing here. You have Toru she is standing her ground and she is not giving up on Kyo. Even if he basically says, hey, I could have saved your mother from dying. And I probably, maybe, am responsible for that. Like, even then, Toru is like, nah, dog, we cool.
Well, okay. Two things I have off of that. First of all, it's in a way it's the same. Toru is seeing how much of a monster Kyo is in season 1 is like a literal monster, and now it's like he is the one who killed her mother, at least in Kyo's mindset.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing there, but there is one difference: is that when Kyo ran off, this time it's Yuki who is chasing him, not Toru.
Well, yeah, that is I think very important as well. Because Yuki went a different direction than Kyo.
Yeah, which is also like it makes sense. Like logically, he didn't know which direction Kyo would go, so he might get it wrong. But it also shows some symbolism too. I'm not quite sure how, but it definitely feels fitting.
Yeah, I definitely feels like something there is going on. But
yeah, so it's like Yuki is trying to help, but he doesn't know Kyo well enough to know what direction he would run off.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head on on the symbolism there. But I think that also I think that makes room for what Akito is about to do, and gotta ask the question: what do you think Akito is going to do?
Okay, so Akito is going to try stabbing Toru. She's going to hit Toru, but just enough. But it'll be enough that like Akito will trip and fall, but then he will fall into Toru. They'll hug, and that'll turn Toru into a dragon.
I did not expect that, but but you're right. We haven't had a Dragon Toru reference in quite a while.
Exactly. So, we're talking about season 1. We have to bring back all the season 1 jokes.
You know what? I agree with you. I agree. Toru the dragon. This is what happens.
Okay, and Belinda brings up a good point, saying like Toru doesn't forgive Kyo or doesn't forgive Kyo or refuse to forgive him, she basically like refuses a choice. It's like she's saying like she loves him regardless.
Right, right. Yeah, I definitely worded that poorly, but I definitely agree 100%. Like, at the same time, I don't think forgiveness is so easy, but I do think forgiveness is the right answer.
Yeah. And we haven't really talked about it, at least this podcast, but it still doesn't make any sense for Kyoko to say the thing that she did. And like Tori even says, I can't believe my mom would say that.
Yeah, that as well. That as well.
Though I wonder if we'll ever learn what she really did say, assuming like because we might never get that. We might just get Kyo's memory of it, which because of how messed up Kyo is, it could easily be mistaken in some way.
Yeah, it could be what his mother said to him, or
Yeah.
she died. So, or his father. I think it was his father who said that, or something. I forget. God damn it! They went over this in like the last episode or whatever it was. Maybe it was this episode.
We don't remember.
I'm terrible. Oh God. Is that it?
Kyoko, I'm trying to remember what I wrote, what I meant to write here. I have something that says Kyoko waves the cat when telling Kyo that someone helped find. Oh, the hat. That's what I meant to write. And apparently there's someone in C's background, so he is now going to go off and chase Mr. Kitty around his house again.
I don't think there's anyone in my background.
Oh, I thought I heard something.
You did. It was converting my standing desk to a sitting desk.
Ooh, fancy.
In real time. I paid $450 for this thing.
All right, that's where your donations are going. So thank you for helping C's back pain.
Yes.
Yeah, and Kyo made a comment that was interesting and saying like, "I pity you for loving me," and or at least that's what he was thinking. And when he did that, his eyes looked like a cat. They're in like the monster form too.
Yeah, I mean, he probably feels like a monster for
Yeah.
Man, God, Kyo needs a hug.
Yes, but we'll hug him since we're guys and they won't make him transform.
Yeah, we'll get Momiji to hug him. Who doesn't want to be hugged by Momiji?
But he needs a Momiji hug.
I
think. But yeah, that was just like an interesting visual touch, and I think Fruits Basket as a whole shows like how much you do visually in a show that doesn't have much visually going on naturally.
Yeah, it's a slice of life show. So
yeah, it's probably one of the best animated slice of life shows I've seen, though.
Or is it a slice of life? I think we talked about this before. It's more of a drama, I think, but.
Okay, it's the best animated drama I've seen, or at least one of.
That's probably the best anime I'll ever see.
Or visually.
Kyo EA says Kyo needs to learn to use an umbrella. I think that was on purpose to harken back to that last scene in episode 24.
Didn't we learn that Kyo like hates the rain? Back in season 1?
Oh yeah, that's right. He hates the rain.
Yeah.
So
and now he's like going out into the rain, going out to what he hates because of his self-hatred.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's really holy crap. This show's brilliant. What the fuck?
Yes, it is.
Oh my god. Melina says everything is made to make the cat feel like he deserves to be locked up.
Yeah. And it seems like that's like the instinct that's built inside of him from his Zodiac spirit.
Yeah, but then Toru's gonna like do some things, and then Kyo's gonna be like, "Wow, you did like a backflip, Toru. I'm free."
All right, now I want to see Toru do a backflip.
Oh Lord. Any final thoughts on episode 8, or any comments, criticisms, or concerns?
Yes, I have like another page of notes I haven't even looked at yet.
Oh my god.
Oh, I liked how Yuki's waking up. How it just like seemed natural. He's like, "Oh, that was a good nap." Wait, what are Kyoko and Toru doing outside? Or what are Kyo and Toru?
I think him coming to the aid of both Toru and Kyo. Well, okay, so let me phrase it this way. I think him coming to Kyo and Toru.
Okay, we're both doing it.
It's because he wants to help them both out. I think.
Yeah. You can also see his he didn't know what to do. It was like, okay, Toru's in pain, Kyo's running off. What do I do?
Yeah.
So like he's thinking, okay, Toru, go inside, you'll be fine. I have to go after Kyo. That's where I need to be. Which I think is really cool. Just like seeing Yuki trying to do what he can to help, even if he doesn't quite know what's going on.
See, I wonder. I'd probably have to go back and rewatch the first or all 3 seasons after it's done to figure this out. But I wonder if there are these subtle hints of both of them doing things to care for each other, whether inadvertently or subconsciously or on purpose, but them not wanting to admit it. Like, I wonder if they still do things that benefit one another from time to time. I wonder if that's an actual thing.
Wonder, because I'm thinking about it from like Yuki's perspective. Like Yuki doesn't really have a reason to dislike Kyo, and he might like want to help Kyo. I feel like Kyo's hatred for Yuki is like the only aspect of their relationship.
Yeah, yeah, that's the most obvious, I think. But
Yeah. Yeah, Melinda's making comment back to an episode saying that she hates the maid and wonders if things would be better if the maid hadn't like caused the trouble that she did.
yeah, that's true. But I remember feeling like she did something cool at one point, like something nice. But I may be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. We really don't get much with the maids.
Yeah, it seems that maid in particular, the one she's talking about, she was in season 1. Or no, yeah, it was season 2. It was that episode where she made, maybe I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was Kyo of like, or Momiji of like, Akito is expecting you. You should return to Akito. I remember that scene with her. I think there's something in season 1
Was it with
as
Yuki?
well. Maybe it was Yuki. I think it was probably Yuki. I don't know. QRW6 is really nice. Why is QRW6 really nice?
Because we pay him in fried chicken.
Melina says the young maid let Kurano free Ren.
Yeah, that was like recent. That was only a few episodes ago. We didn't really talk about Toru disappearing and Kyo saying that he wanted to go find her, but Yuki was the one who found her instead.
Oh yeah, that's right. He got really hurt by that, and
yeah,
he never returned to Kyoko, sadly.
I guess we talked about that a little bit, but more like Kyo's reaction in the end. But yeah, it's interesting seeing another aspect of Yuki's backstory there. And we see that through that, like in season 2, how Toru saved Yuki there by basically giving Yuki a purpose, but that robbed the purpose from Kyo.
Yeah, it's almost... See, here's the thing, though, is outwardly these actions seemed like in some way they hurt Kyo. But I think that's just a matter of perspective at that point, especially on Kyo's part. I think easily he could have viewed it from the perspective of, oh, hey, Yuki is doing better. But I think because of the hatred against Yuki, it made him feel worse.
Yeah, he had no other way to see that, because like if he did not have a hatred for Yuki, he'd be like, oh, I'm glad Toru is okay. Oh, I see that another person in clan helped. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting to think about that.
Yeah, and like built into Kyo's hatred for Yuki without Kyo realizing how important this moment was for Yuki.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's a good point. Melina says, how much of Rain's jealousy and hatred might have been soothed otherwise? Because of the old maid and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think a lot. A lot. Like a good amount, for sure.
And Melina brings up another point when Shigure is saying like he pities Ren and everyone in the Soma family. Again, we're going back to the idea of pitying people and doing stuff out of pity, not out of truly caring.
Right. It's like a little bit of self-love and a little bit of love for your fellow man and woman. Could go a long way for a lot of people in this series, but honestly, it seems like just the Soma clan, the Soma family, man, they got some messed up stuff.
Yeah, they do.
It ain't good. But they're all really pretty people. So they're the Soma clan. Dang, they're just full of supermodels.
Exactly.
Melina says, "I just love Shigure. You're one of the only ones. Even as a kid, he's so smart. It has a way to read the situation in a way that no one else can." I think.
Yeah, I was saying like he pities Ren and everyone else.
Yeah, I think it's just interesting though. Oh, you just went over this comment. I'm a dumbass. Melina says, "I think Shigure genuinely loves Akito. He wants what's best for her. He wants her to let go of her unhealthy attachment to an empty box, to her father, to the bonds. He wants her to move on. He's doing it in a weird way, though."
Well, I wonder if it's because anything gentler wouldn't work.
I mean, she stabbed a guy. I think we could have been a little bit easier.
Yeah, but at the same time, okay, no, can be fine. Just like patch him up, take him to the hospital. He'll be okay. I hope.
Oh Lord. Melina says the same young maid came to, in reference to the one that let Kureno free Rin. The same young maid came to Kureno's help after he was stabbed. Seems like this younger maid is much better than the older one. At the same time, Yuki would have probably died if he hadn't met Toru then.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Like,
yeah,
how big
that's
of a
true.
moment that was for Yuki.
Toru is the great equalizer.
Yeah.
Trauma.
Remember back in like season 1 how Kyo and Yuki came together to save Toru from her family.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. Man, these Kyo and Yuki just need to become bros. Like, Jesus Christ, just play Gears of War co-op. You'll be bros by the end of it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Yuki to show up and like punch Kyo and say like call him an idiot and say like, okay, come on, we have to go back to Toru.
Oh no, then the yaoi route happens and they kiss each other.
We'll say that for the manga.
Okay, Satsuki, wrong. This is bad. Rising Senpai defending Akito, that's my guy. He always tries to justify things that are bad.
Wait, was I defending Akito?
I don't think you were. I think he's just loves Akito that much.
Satsuki, how's I defending Akito?
I think
I'm
Satsuki...
I'm saying I understand why Akito did the things that she did.
Listen, I'll just say this. Satsuki defends Elsa.
I mean, it's Elsa. Have you seen, like, Fairy Tail's a fun show. She makes it fun.
Oh my god. Not Fairy Tail. I mean, ReZero Elsa.
Alright, give me a minute. I need to think of a way to do it. Oh, she sees how warm people are inside.
Stop! No, you can't say that. That's not right.
She just wants to see people's hearts, see who they are inside.
Yes, because she's splitting open their guts. Literally.
Yeah, she wants them to spill her guts for her. She wants them to spill their guts for her.
Oh my god, because they literally are.
Exactly.
Because she's killing them.
She's helping them to open up.
So this is the Satsuki says Elsa just does her job. This is ridiculous. I'm actually fuming right now. I don't know how you people justify it.
Okay, now I'm picturing smoke coming out of C's ears.
That's pretty much what's happening.
But do you know who else has a knife and shows up and does things?
Akito.
Exactly. So you agree Akito and Elsa are the same person. They're misunderstood, but they're wonderful people deep down.
I didn't say that!
Yes, but I just did, and it's your channel, so you said it.
No! That's not how that works! This is not guilty by association.
It is, because like you're a publisher. You have not maybe signed the Form 308, so everything I say is your fault.
Oh my god, the podcast is over. Rising, where can they find you?
What other thoughts do I have?
Oh my god!
You saw how long we've been going?
Yes, an hour and 20 minutes.
No, we're at 80 minutes.
What does 80 minutes have to do with this?
No, how long we've been streaming for.
Yeah.
Okay, I just thought that you were surprised by that number.
I don't get the significance of 80.
It's a big number. We normally stream for like a little over half an hour.
Oh yeah, you stream for double the amount of time.
Yes.
Rising. Where can they find you?
They can find me on my YouTube, where I stream near and sometimes make anime videos. They can find me on Twitch, where I sometimes stream near. They can find me on OnlyFans, where I sometimes make political videos.
All right.
They can find me on Twitter, where I get mad at the things that are trending and then just decide I should probably uninstall it.
All right.
They can find me in your Discord server, where I threaten to ban 8-bit.
As you should.
So, see, where can they find you?
They can find me here. That's it. They can find me here. Weekly.
Right, go.
Yep.
QRW6, you need to spam the link to C's channel to tell people to sub to it.
Yeah. They can just hit the subscribe button if they want.
Yeah, it's not as much fun, though.
Anyways. Thanks,
But
everybody.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, everyone. This was fun. I feel like I need a nap now.
Same. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. Much appreciated. I'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.